It's 7 o'clock, so we might as well get going. Good evening, everyone. This is the Air Conservation Commission meeting. This is Thursday, March 10th, 2022. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, in accordance with Chapter 20 of the Act of 2021, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, the OML, public bodies otherwise governed by the OML are temporarily relieved from the requirement that meetings be held in public places, open and physically accessible to the public, so long as measures are taken to ensure public access to the body's deliberations through adequate alternative means. This meeting will be live on Zoom. The public may participate remotely by joining Zoom. The meeting ID number is 840-4058-0886, or by calling 929-205-6099. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Conservation Commission at concom@ayer.ma.us, or by calling 978-772-8220, extension 143, prior to the meeting. We have commissioners in attendance with us this evening. We have Jeremiah as member. We have George Bacon as member. We have Jess Gugino, member clerk. We will have joining us shortly Mark Phillips.
He's on.
What?
Mark is on.
Oh, he's on?
Yep.
I don't see him.
I see him.
Okay, we have Mark Phillips as vice chair.
Yeah.
Myself, John Schmallenberger, as chair. And do we have confirmation of agenda? Any changes?
No.
Okay, very good. We'll take a vote. Or is there a motion to approve the agenda as written?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by George Bacon, seconded by Mark Phillips. Jen, how do you vote?
Aye.
George, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jess, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mark, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, passes unanimously. Do we have approval of the meeting minutes from February 24th, 2022? Any changes, additions? Beautifully written, thank you. All right, then hearing no changes, is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes for February 24th, 2022 as written?
So moved.
Second.
All right, it was moved by George Bacon, seconded by Mark Phillips. Jen, how do you vote?
Aye.
George, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jess, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mark, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, passes unanimously. There you are, I can see you now. Accounts payable, do we have anything of note?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, and at this time, we will open the meeting for public input. If there is anyone listening or viewing the meeting that has something to say, questions, comments, now's the time. Or later too, if you come in later, I guess too, but all right, then hearing none, we will move to our first item this evening, which is a public hearing that we will open under the Wetland Protection Act and under the Air Wetlands Bylaw. It's a notice of intent. New England Power Company, Mass DEP, file number 100-0479. And Allison, you are in attendance this evening with us?
Hi, good evening,
evening.
Conservation Commission.
How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
Good, thank you. Good, thank you. You had a chance to review the orders of conditions, and you had a couple of things you wanted to add or change.
Yeah, that's correct. I believe they're not substantial, but I can present them to the commission now for your consideration. Um, The first was that the special conditions included the use of a barrier, which was a kind of a holdover from the soil boring efforts. But because of the size of the drill rig that's going to be used for the pole installations, I recommended that we change that language to use of secondary containment. A barrier kind of insinuates that it would be basically wrap the entire piece of equipment with some sort of poly. But usually with a larger equipment, I would recommend something like a plastic kiddie pool or a plastic sled kind of device that would be placed under the part of the equipment that could potentially leak. So this special condition was required if the equipment was going to stay overnight in any regulated resource areas.
Okay, and something like a little kiddie pool would be adequate to collect whatever might leak?
Yeah, that's the normal practice that's been used in the past, and it's proven effective. The contractors usually are pretty aware of that location that might potentially, have a leak overnight, so they're able to put it in the correct location before they leave work for the day.
Okay. Anything else?
The second one is that there was a requirement to not allow soil stockpiles within any regulated resource areas. But my request was that since they will be digging in and near wetlands, can we please change that language to just requiring the soil piles to be contained? They will use something such as either filter fabric with a straw wattle barrier when they're actually actively excavating in those resource areas. Alternatively, they sometimes use like a watertight mud box, they call it, which is just basically like a metal apparatus. It's like a big metal box, if you could just imagine. And then they will able to keep their soil contained in that. And then they'll be able to haul it off site. But there will be some temporary soil stockpiling in resource areas.
And Allison's email made reference to, this being sort of unavoidable, but covered under the utility maintenance exemption anyway.
Oh, okay. All right, that's easy to understand. Is there anything else?
Since I submitted the original notice of intent, planning has identified a handful of locations where they needed to do some adjustments to the temporary construction matting. So I also sent an updated map set, an NOI map set to the commission, requesting that this additional area, which is about 11,000 square feet of temporary impact, be included in this order as a minor modification, since that scope of work, the temporary matting, is technically an exempt activity under the Wetlands Protection Act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And anything else?
That's it. The only, well, that's it for requests from the commission. But I would like to share that due to recent further investigations with the association of the Ayer substation, it was determined that two of the structures that were proposed to be replaced with larger concrete foundations no longer will. In fact, they will, in the future, they will no longer be needed. But I'm not suggesting that we reduce our replication area based on this, and we'll commit to the larger replication area for the wetland impacts. But just so the commission knows, it's actually a reduction in permanent impacts from the original filing.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
great. Well, thank you for letting us know.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Is that it?
That's all I have. We did receive a question from an abutter regarding vegetation maintenance / management and the company's yearly operational plan. And I did reach out to New England Power and provided a response to that abutter. I sent it directly to Jess with a link for that abutter's use to gain access to the company's vegetation management plan that's available on the mass.gov website.
Mhm.
And I forwarded it on to the resident and he responded, thanks. So,
Thank you.
Any comments, questions from commissioners about the proposed changes?
Allison? So you said there's a couple of structures that are not going to be, which structures would those be?
There are two structures that are located right outside the Ayer substation. That's the first location that we visited on our site walk.
Mhm.
There are two structures that are located closer to, is it Park Avenue?
Yep. Park
Yep.
Street.
Yep. So those two, they will remain as they are for this project. And then in the future, when the substation upgrades are in, construction, which is a few years out now, they'll be removed and not replaced.
so they're not even going to be replaced with galvanized steel now in kind. They're
That's
just gonna-
correct. They determined that they won't be necessary based on conversations between the engineering teams on the substation and the transmission line side of things.
And if I remember, those were fairly large concrete that were going in there, right? Weren't those like 48-inch or 5 foot, or they're pretty big diameter, I thought, correct?
Yeah, they're about, I think they were
breaking
6
up?
feet, 6 feet diameter. Am I breaking up? I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Oh, okay.
No,
Nope,
it's
you're
probably
not.
me. So, okay. No, that's good. I was just curious. That's good to hear. Thank you.
That's a good news.
Jen, any questions? George?
no,
Good. Jess?
Nope.
I don't either. Any comments or questions from anyone that's zooming, listening? Is that a word, zooming?
It is now.
So I'll amend from our end the draft order for the special conditions with the wording that you mentioned, Allison.
Thank you.
But we can go ahead and issue those, I'm assuming. Yep, okay. Is there a motion to issue and approve the orders of conditions for New England Power Company Mass DEP file number 100-0479 with the what's the word, with the changes that were proposed by Ms. Milliman? You have all those, I guess, Jess.
Yes.
so moved.
Second,
All righty, it was moved by George Bacon, seconded by Jen Amaya. We will do a roll call vote. Jen, how do you vote?
aye.
George, how do you vote?
Aye,
Jess, how do you vote?
I
Mark is abstaining and the chair votes aye. So it's approved unanimously. Okay, and those can go out early next week.
Yep. And where do you want those? How do you want those delivered, Allison?
If you would please, is it possible to get an electronic copy and as well as a hard copy?
Right. So where would you like I'll send the electronic to you, I presume.
Yep, and you can also send the hard copy to me using the PO box.
Okay. And
That's in I can re-forward it to you, but it's in my signature on my email.
I've got that. So. Okay. So I'll get
All right,
that.
is there a motion to close the public hearing? The notice of intent, New England Power Company Mass DEP file number 100-0479.
so moved.
Second,
Moved by George Bacon, seconded by Jen Amaya. Do a roll call vote. Jen, how do you vote?
aye.
George, how do you vote?
Aye,
Jess, how do you vote?
I
And the chair votes aye, passes unanimously. So there we go. It was very nice to
Thank
see you.
It's nice to see you all.
Oh yeah, as always. It's always been always a pleasure.
I'll see you again soon, I'm sure. Have a great night.
All right, you too. Good night.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
All right.
and I'll send out the email to you guys about authorizing use of your signature stamps.
Okay,
Okay.
good, thank you. Our next item this evening is the public meeting that we will open under the Wetland Protection Act and under the Air Wetlands Bylaw. It is a request for determination of applicability at 8 Standish Avenue. Ronald and Colleen Kreiser. Ronald or Ron, or what do you prefer?
It's Ron and Colleen Kreiser.
Kreiser, my apologies. All right, it's nice to meet you. How are you this evening?
Okay.
Good, good. Would you tell us a little bit about what you would like to do at your place?
Yes, we have, well, in September, there was a big lightning strike. We live on Sandy Pond and it hit this tree right in front of our house, a big pine tree, huge pine tree. And we had Flag Tree come over right away. And he said it had to come down. And when he started the process, he found out that the whole base of the tree was hollow and wasn't really sure which way the tree was going to go. The only safe way to have it come down was go down over our staircase, which leads down to the lake. And if I can I share my screen to show you the pictures?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Jen, do you have, or
Can we do that, Jen?
Yep, it
Just
should
keep
be
it
good
on.
now.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not sure if you can see this now.
Yep.
So here's the tree that came down at the top of the hill. And it came right down over the stairs. And so part of this request is to have the staircase rebuilt. So that we can get down to access the lake. The other part of the request is this tree right here at the base of the stairs is dying. It's not healthy at all. And you can see on this picture here, everything else is green. This one's all brown. And I don't really, we'd like to have this tree taken down before we have the stairs rebuilt, because it would seem like we'd have to have the stairs rebuilt again if they couldn't get the tree out properly, or if the tree were to fall down over them again. So that's what this request is about.
Is that a pine tree as well?
Yes, it's a big pine tree.
And how do they propose taking that down?
I believe actually Zach Flag's coming over tomorrow. I believe that he thinks he's going to need a crane to do it.
Yeah. I think I was at your house to approve the removal. And I thought I remembered at that point in time that he was going to use a crane to take the lightning struck tree down. Am I making that up, or is?
No, I didn't see you there. It was actually an emergency thing.
I met Zach at your.
He said that day he could not get a crane for 3 weeks, and he didn't think the tree was gonna be standing by the next day because we were
gotcha.
having more storms coming in. So he had
Yep.
to take it down without a crane,
Okay.
which is why the stairs were destroyed in the process.
All righty. Questions from commissioners?
just like, how's the, double check, how is the new stair going to be anchored into the bank?
He wrote that in I think I put that in the
Application.
application. Yeah.
Hold on, I can just pull it up.
Six precast footings?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it here. It's 6 precast footings. I'm assuming they're going to be dug in to.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all pressure treated. And it's there, it ties into that. Is it a deck above it or just a structure or what's above it?
It's above it really is nothing. I mean,
Nothing.
it's not tied
mean-
into the deck at all. The
Right,
deck's
there's a
further back.
strip of land between the deck and the stairs.
Right, so he'll probably make a little tiny
Gotcha.
platform on the top.
Okay. Yeah, it looks from the picture like there's something up there, but
And you keep the stairs in the location they were in, you're not gonna adjust them or move them in any way.
No, I want them to be in the same spot. It's convenient.
Thank you.
so basically it's just a replacement of what you
Yeah.
have.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
Uh,
so from the picture, as I'm looking at it,
Taking
where
a
the
long look.
final-
sorry.
Breaking up again, Mark, sorry.
Sorry, that-
Start over, Mark.
The posts at the end in the water,
Yeah, we don't want to have
Yeah.
posts in the water. That little part, I'd like to have it so that there's no posts in the water. That is actually a 3-step little addition that we would take out every year.
Oh,
It would go in and out, but I'm hoping they can do it so that the posts don't go in the water, because once it freezes, it would destroy the stairs. So those bottom 3 steps, we always would take out. He said he thought there was a way that he could do it so that it wouldn't be necessary.
okay.
The way the picture looks now, it looks as though there's posts in the water, but that's just where it fell then.
No, those posts, those bottom 3 steps and those posts
Were,
were sitting in the water.
gotcha,
It's
okay.
like, it's not always water. So here the water was higher than normal.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes we have a little beach. So I mean, there's quite a fluctuation in water level from year to year.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Well, thank you.
You have any questions, George?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Alrighty, I think if we could,
Well-
we could do a site walk and come out there, if it's all right with you, to put our eyes on the area and the project, and it's just what we normally do. Is that all right with you?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Anyone have objections with this coming Saturday?
Oh, and it's supposed to be pouring rain.
Yeah, that's my objection, is the weather's supposed to be pretty bad.
You're gonna melt?
Yes.
Okay, then we could, this is not an imminent project for you. You're not gonna be doing this. Or the tree might come out soon?
We'd like to have the tree out. I mean, whenever we can get it on his schedule. He's
Gotcha.
coming over tomorrow to give us an estimate.
Okay,
But
All
I
right.
would assume he's not coming in a few days if he needs to do it with a crane. That will take some
Sure.
time to schedule.
alrighty, following Saturday or the following Saturday work?
Yep.
Yep.
How about
Yeah.
for commissioners?
I'm good.
I'm good.
That's the 26th, right?
Here's a question. Is
No.
the
Oh, yeah.
destroyed stairway still there, or has that been
No,
taken?
we moved them, we removed it because it was kind of hazardous with our kids.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How about you, Mark?
Then you can-
what day? Are we talking 19 or 26?
26th.
I think I was off a week. Next week is the 19th. That's my bad.
19th?
Wait, this, oh,
One second.
So,
So it's the 19th, what you're
Yeah.
saying. Okay.
Yeah, that should be okay.
9 o'clock?
Sure.
That work for everybody?
Good.
Sorry, Jess, it's close though. You can just roll out of bed and
come
there
over in
in
my PJs.
that's right.
What are you guys serving for breakfast? Kidding.
Okay, then we will be at your house on March 19th at 9 a.m.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No, thank you. We appreciate letting us come by. And we will, okay, have a good evening.
Thanks, you too.
All right, y'all take
I
care.
told you you'd be out of here fast.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. All right, our next item this evening is a discussion on the 2022 aquatic weed treatment in air ponds. Review the RFQ proposals. We have two proposals, one from Water and Wetland and one from Solitude. They look like they're basically, well, you want to go through it, Jess, a little bit, and see if there's anything that you want to say?
And they look very comparable.
Yep.
The electronic version of the Water and Wetlands is not quite as full as it would be. They sent in their hard copies, and they have the tracking number that it was delivered in town hall on last Friday, but it is not to be found. So,
Oh.
so we just went with the electronic copy. But
Yep.
I mean, they seem comparable. I would say for my own self, I was very happy with Water and Wetland last year, how everything went. The only difference I saw in the two performance schedules was that the Solitude one did reference doing a third sonar herbicide treatment in late June or July if it was necessary. That's the most substantial thing I saw different between the two.
Yeah, I agree that I thought that they did a nice job for us. Was happy with the results. Anyone else have any comments or questions?
It's just it's the first time that getting a chance to look at these, but Jess, did you like do a comparison like 1-to-1? Like, are they both doing exactly the same thing except for that potential third treatment? Is that the only difference?
Yeah, that was the only big difference I saw.
Okay.
So, I mean, both of them, we've added curly leaf pondweed into our RFPs or RFQs for all the ponds, and both applications mention curly leaf pondweed in some, but in some spots, and both left it out in other spots. So I think that's just because it's a new one.
Any questions, Jen?
I was happy with Water and Wetlands this year, so.
How about you, George?
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Okay. Yep. Cost difference wasn't much.
I noticed this year, neither of them mentioned Clipper or the potential use of Clipper, which finally they've heard that we actually can't use it. So,
They did, well,
Sunk in, finally.
what?
It's sunk in.
It's sunk in.
yeah. Is that affects turtles or clams?
Shellfish, yeah, clam, mussels.
Shellfish.
And it's not okayed for whole pond treatments. It's okayed for partial. Where it is okay to use, I think you can't use it broadly. You have to use it on a section only, a percentage. But in any case, Natural Heritage had already indicated to us that they would not approve it for use in our ponds.
Okay.
For ACEC and Great Pond and all that.
Mhm. All righty, you want to vote on approving water and wetland? Everybody's taking a look at what the cost is for the coming year.
Yep.
Everybody all right with that?
I am.
Okey dokey.
I'm
So,
indifferent.
Sorry.
Mark,
I
Okay.
did
just said I'm indifferent. Either or.
Indifferent, okay. So is there a motion to approve hiring water and wetland for pond treatments, Ayers pond treatments for 2022?
So moved.
Second,
Moved by George Bacon, seconded by Mark Phillips. Jen, how do you vote?
Aye.
George, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jess, how do you vote?
I
Mark, how do you vote?
aye.
Chair votes aye, passes unanimously. So you can get a letter off to them?
Yep.
Jess?
I'll contact them.
That would be great. Okay. Then our next item this evening is an update on waterways sign project. And Mark, I and Marilyn, we went over to Sandy Pond Beach just to scope it out again. And I'm at a loss, I'll be honest with you. I don't know where would be a good place to put it. If it's, go ahead.
We did hear back from Jeff Thomas. He thought probably closer to the street intersection with Sandy Pond Road, and they're fine with us putting something there.
And that would be inside or outside of the fence?
I don't think there's a fence over in that side.
Yeah, I'm thinking that'd be outside, probably closer, maybe up by the. Again, I think there's an upper parking lot, maybe, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, honestly, I haven't really gotten around to too much on this, unfortunately. Just the one thing I was looking for, you did send me was the estimate. I saw the draft proposal, but I don't know if it was the final one that was approved, that we got the money for. I just wanted to see
Yeah.
if we had committed to concrete cementing or not, those types of things.
Okay.
Before I crafted the letter to Lucy to say, okay, this is where we're at. And I also wanted to confirm what we'd spent, which I think is only the design dollars.
Right. Right.
Okay.
I would ask, just come right out and ask her on that, about the footings. And we're in that, difficult area where Joanne left, and we're picking it up, and you could just ask in the version of clarifying. do we have to use?
Yeah, I just wanted to be an all encompassing. I didn't want to like
Yeah.
pepper her every time we came up with a new question. So I
Right,
kind of wanted to send something, that's it, more of a complete stage saying, okay, we're trying to rethink this. I know we've been granted the money now. We've already spent this much on design. When we look at the installation cost from a third party, it would put us over. We're trying to figure out the best way to make best use of the money and actually getting the signs up versus expending a lot of money on somebody else's time. So we're just trying to figure out what the best way is. I believe from what I read, they were going to make us 20 signs, but as George had, reminded us that they were supposed to be double-sided because they would be out at the street so you could see them from either direction. So I still think, whatever you guys think, that there might be some locations that still make sense to do that. So like maybe the one at the Flanagan Pond by the sewage plant, maybe we could do it that way. And, you could still sort of see it from the sidewalk without issue, but it would also catch the people's eyes. So
Yep.
I don't know. I guess what does everybody think?
Well, I agree with you. Some of them probably make sense to have two sides, but most of them probably don't.
Right. Yeah, like maybe like Nonacosius Brook, there along the guardrail where Dan said, yeah, we could put it on the guardrail, then, maybe we don't do it there because the sign might smack somebody in the head if they're riding by on their bike on the sidewalk, right? So we just probably have to just check those things. And then, maybe even the one over there by Nashua River, maybe just kind of check on that then too. But again, like I said, I just wanted to kind of generate a new estimate to see where we are from a dollars perspective, so we're not blowing the budget.
Yep.
'Cause I know we're going to need another $80 to get the designs modified to include the additional two signs and insignias or whatever, and then we got to figure out our locations and will they be two-sided or not. So those types of things, I guess, is where I'm at. And we got the price from Dan on those posts, I believe. And they actually were pretty expensive. I think they were $60 or $70 each, right? So they weren't cheap.
Yeah. But I guess they're substantial and. Yep.
Um,
Yep. Got
they-
frozen good there.
last time.
Oh,
I did caution.
You kind of broke up there for a
What's that,
while.
John?
now. So you broke up for a while.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's-
Yeah, Dan cautioned us on the installs that they might be difficult with those posts to put in by hand. So something we'd have to take into consideration.
Okay. All right.
So
Anything else right now?
I can't remember, right at the moment. Did Dan indicate the DPW could help us on any of those?
I don't think he committed from what I remember. Honestly, it'd be great to get like in my mind, just like bring a backhoe or a front loader by
Yeah,
and just kind of hold the post and it would just push it down. Really all we would need. I've done that at the club with others and, puts in a railing pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So, that would be great, but now we're talking hours of time on a front loader and things like that. So who knows? But again, I don't think our post situation is fully exhausted. Let me check some things that I could find. But yeah, I think, like I said, if we've got everything, and Jess, I'll maybe just send an email back and forth to you, or maybe give you a call. But I think if we've got everything, I can take some time and put that together. It might take me a week or two. This coming week's another bare week for me. Yeah, if I can get that time, I can put it together and then really put the letter together for Lucy. Because I know when we sent the proposal, the expectation was basically to have them put up within a year, and now we're we're quickly approaching a 1 year time frame that we've not accomplished a heck of a lot except the design. So that's
It'll
about
get
all I got.
All right. Well, thanks very much for all your time. Anything else on the sign project? All right, then next item this evening is a discussion on review of the special conditions boilerplate.
It's a work in progress. And I'm getting there. What I'm doing is just putting together the most expansive version we have. We have several different versions that have been being used. And I'm just going to try and get rid of the repetitions. You know, we talk about the same thing in one spot and then another. And there's some interesting additions I think we could consider that either could go into the boilerplate or regulations. But what I want to do is then get that all set, really set, and then send it to you all, and we can then go through it with an eye to, like George said, what should be in the boilerplate, what should be a regulation, what should we just not use. So.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I have many pages of a draft here now. So. Making it through. Yeah.
Okay. To be continued.
Yeah.
All right. We're flying through this agenda.
Yeah. Jen's
What's that?
Jen is unhappy.
Oh, she is? Oh, I'm sorry.
I said 7:30 for our end time. And it's, so
You don't have your signs to hold up. You got to hold up some signs.
I know.
Conservation Office and member updates.
All right. Updates. One, on the North County Land Trust, Robert took our comments from our meeting, which I think was back in January, wasn't it, at this point? They've been sent to North County Land Trust. He was hoping to hear back from them this week with their response, but he hadn't, last I heard. So it's in North County's hands and we're waiting to hear back.
Okay.
Still haven't heard anything from the Attorney General's office on the fertilizer bylaw. So they didn't reject it out of hand. So we can cross our little fingers.
Well, they did an extension, right? Didn't they?
They did
For
an extension from
the long
February.
one.
So we have 2 more months to hear from, but either they're really, really busy or they're actually giving it a little bit of thought. So I'm choosing to think it's the latter. So crossing fingers. On the, I don't know if you all saw that Lori Nearing was successful in getting her grant from the Nashua River Stewardship Council, same one we got our signs project from, for the water chestnut pool. So not for the pool, but for the testing of the sediment, the plants in the water, to make sure it's safe to do a hand pull. So I just wanted to think about, just if they do all that testing and it comes out safe to do a hand pull, what level of what level of review through us should it then go through? And I'm in particular looking at George.
I don't know. What are they doing in Nashua River?
Okay. I can ask.
Could you check with the circuit rider maybe?
Yeah, I have to call the circuit rider about something else anyway, so I can ask that too. I just want to have that, teed up so that, because Lori was mentioning a very narrow window when they'd actually when it would be optimal to pull the water chestnuts if it does go forward. So just to make sure we could advise them on having everything ready on our end would be good.
Yeah, good
Um,
idea.
hmm?
Good idea.
Good idea. Okay, then we also got a letter from Beaver Solutions and about whether we want to renew our routine maintenance contract with them for 2022 on the flow control devices, otherwise known as beaver deceivers. And their contract, which has a 25% discount since we have multiple devices, their contract for 2022 would be for $1,237.50. The question is, do we want to approve that?
Questions? Is that more than last year by a much, by a lot? Do we know what last year was?
I actually didn't look up the previous year, but it would be more because we do have a new device, which is the one over on Shaker Road.
Okay.
at the
And
yellow-
then what about our beaver plan or whatever, working with Dan? Would this be like superseded by that if we did that, or?
No, because the plan with Dan is to, which has, as far as I know, we haven't heard anything more from the DPW on that at the moment. So I'll send him another email and just see any progress. But usually in the lead up to town meeting in April, start to get a slowdown in responses. That management plan is for looking at the areas where I think we need a beaver deceiver put in, which we have identified a few, or to identify new problems, or the chain of command for who responds to when issues come up. But it's not for the actual flow control maintenance or device. And I don't think the DPW would want to take on maintenance of these.
Okay. All right. I guess I was confused. I thought that beaver management plan or whatever somehow included maintenance and things like that. So maybe I just misunderstood. But is it worthwhile maybe to just float this over to Dan and just say, hey, we were looking into going ahead with this, if assuming we all approve it, but looking to go ahead. Any comments or questions or concerns, and just to see that it doesn't conflict or is isn't duplicative or something like that.
Okay. Okay, so you want to defer taking any action on this till our next meeting?
Yeah, probably.
We could do that, or we could take a vote to approve and move it forward as long as DPW doesn't feel it's a problem, I guess, if you want to just get it out of the way. I mean,
Okay.
considering how it's not even 8 o'clock, which is like really unusual, and we're here, so let's accomplish some things, I guess.
Okay, that works for me.
I had a question about, I read the letter, and on the first page, second paragraph, the second line in there, it says, we suspect the failure of the Long Pond beaver deceiver was due to corrosion. And I was under the impression that the beavers learned how to deceive the deceiver, or learned how to override the deceiver and blocked it. But it looks like this is like they blocked it because it failed. And so that, to me, that means that replacing the deceiver, he wouldn't have to trap and kill the beavers.
Well, I can't trap and kill them anyways now.
Well, I mean, but that was the
Right.
goal, was to try to trap
Yeah.
the beavers, and it seems like that was unnecessary if the deceiver failed.
Yeah,
And they blocked it because of the failure. They didn't block it because they, were smarter than the thing. That's my question.
okay, why don't I ask, I'll ask them.
Because I get it that the things fail and then they have to be replaced. Soon, routinely, I guess, but it was just the fact that we had to think about trapping beavers didn't set well with some of us.
Yeah.
Anywho,
actually, maybe we should hold off on this till our next meeting, just also kind of just find out what the resolution they proposed for the Long Pond Dam is anyways.
yeah. It'd be nice to know.
If they're proposing replacing that, if it was corrosion or what. So it seems like corrosion after more than 6 years isn't guaranteed anyways. So find out if we need to install a new one and what
Yeah.
was the cause, if it was corrosion. Okay. So
And I don't even know what that means. What does corrosion actually mean? I mean, is it just fell apart?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll look into that a bit more.
Thank you. Anything else on the Beaver Solutions before we move on?
Nope.
If we don't approve it, Jess, does that mean you just let the beavers run the town?
It works for me.
Okay.
They might do a better job than our species does in the world, she said.
Be worse.
Yeah, and then I just had thrown in a few things in the thing that Keola's yearly operating plan. Just for, doesn't look like there's anything we need to do. It's just they're sending the link for that.
Mhm.
And so John, you had a couple updates.
Yeah, one in particular was, I think we need to revisit the Buddhist temple that, remember long ago, they had put in some steps leading down to the Nashua River. And I forget exactly who it was that was working on trying to get a plan to get steps down to the river.
Paul from Ecotech. I can't remember his last name.
Okay. And that seems like that hasn't gone anywhere, or it was too difficult to do, or
I think he had not heard back. I mean, last time Joanna talked to him, I think he had just not heard back from the temple. So you
okay.
might prod them a bit.
Jen, do you know about this at all? Is this before your? Okay, all right. I just didn't know if this was before your time on the commission. Okay, good. Yeah, I think that it's been sitting there long enough unsolved that we should kind of prod them a little bit. I think I don't have anything else for an update.
Just the open space residential development guidelines. Yeah.
How could I forget that? Yeah, we met again today and are making good progress on the wording, sort of the minutia now, which I'm not good at, but fortunately Jess and Ken and Jonathan and Mark Archambault are good at it. And it seems to be coming along nicely. A couple more meetings, probably tops. And we'll have a good draft.
Yep. And that would then get circulated, at least in our view, to everybody else here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anything from members? Okay, once again, anything from anyone viewing or listening?
Done.
I'm sorry, yes.
So, so I see in the Dropbox, Jess, you had put the McDonald's. Thing.
Yeah. They're going to be getting back to us with a certificate of compliance. I'm not quite sure why they just sent the plan, the as-built plan without any narrative or application, but they went ahead and did that, so.
What is this?
McDonald's.
Ah.
uh,
Hmm.
But, I mean, I think they're starting to work on doing their application for their certificate of compliance.
Okay, I guess, do we have the ability to have them hold off? Were they not doing some plantings and stuff? I don't think we can do a certificate of compliance until we start to see that stuff, correct?
Yeah, okay, I'll check on the existing order and see if
Okay.
we had any restrictions on plantings.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
I'll
you.
send you all something on that.
That's all I have.
Anything
Thanks.
else? Nope. Nope, nope. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
All right, the motion was moved by George Bacon. It was seconded by Mark Phillips. Jen, how do you vote?
Aye.
George, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jess, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mark, how do you vote?
aye.
Chair votes aye. We will adjourn and we will all see you all the 19th.